Hello, educators. Let's be real for a second. Are you tired of spending your nights and weekends buried in lesson plans and grading papers? What if I told you there's a tool that could give you back hours of your life every single week? Today, we're diving into Gemini, an AI assistant that's honestly about to become your new best friend. So, I want to start with a simple but pretty powerful question. What would you actually do with an extra 5 hours this week? More one-on-one time with your students? Time with your family? Or maybe, just maybe, some time for yourself? It might sound like a dream, but just stick with me here. This isn't just another piece of tech to learn. This is what I'm calling an efficiency revolution. It's all about working smarter, not harder, so you can pour all that saved energy into what really, truly matters, helping your students grow. Okay, just look at this chart for a second. This is where it gets real. We're talking about taking tasks that eat up hours and condensing them into minutes. Imagine your weekly lesson planning, which might take, 2 hours? Done in 15 minutes. Or providing detailed feedback on assignments, a 3-hour task, knocked out in 45 minutes. These are absolutely game-changing numbers. So what's the secret? How is this even possible? Well, it's like having your very own personal teaching assistant, one that's working right alongside you 24/7, ready to tackle pretty much any task you throw at it. And that assistant is Google's Gemini. But before we even get into all the cool stuff it can do, let's talk about the most important thing first, security. Because let's face it, if you're going to use this in your classroom, you have to know that your data and your students' data is safe. And here's the bottom line, the most important thing to know. When you use Gemini with your school account, you are protected by enterprise-grade security. Your data stays private. Period. It's not reviewed by a single human, and it's definitely not used to train the AI models. Think of it as a secure digital classroom that was built with schools in mind from the ground up. Okay, so we've established it's powerful, and it's secure. Great. But a powerful tool is kind of useless if you don't know how to use it, right? So how do you go from asking it simple, kind of vague questions to getting exactly what you need for your classroom? The key to unlocking Gemini's full power is something called the parts framework. It's a super simple but incredibly powerful technique that's going to completely change how you talk to AI. It turns your basic requests into detailed, actionable commands that get you amazing results. So let's break this down. It's easy, I promise. P is for persona. Tell Gemini who to be, like act as a veteran instructional coach. A is for act. Give it a strong verb, like create or design. R is for recipient. Who's this for? Your 10th graders, your 3rd graders? T is for theme. What's the topic? And finally, S is for structure. How do you want it? As a rubric, a lesson plan, a simple table? See? Simple. All right, now that we have the framework, let's see how this actually works in the real world for real classroom tasks. We're going to look at how you can completely reimagine your core duties, from planning to assessments, and do them in just a fraction of the time. At its core, Gemini basically gives you superpowers in 3 key areas. First, lesson design. It helps you create incredible lessons and even entire units in minutes. Second, communication. It can draft all sorts of things, from parent newsletters to classroom announcements. And third, and this one is huge, it can instantly differentiate a single text for all the diverse learners in your classroom. Let's see this parts framework in action. So the before prompt is something generic, right? Like ideas about the Silk Road. You'll just get a jumbled mess of facts. But the after, that's a precise command using our framework. We've given it a persona, an act, a recipient, a theme, and a structure. And what do you get? A perfectly crafted 5E lesson plan ready to go. The difference is just, it's night and day. And it doesn't stop with lesson plans. Oh no, think about making assessments. You can literally feed Gemini a chapter from a textbook or even a video transcript and have it generate a quiz in seconds. Or, get this, describe a project you're assigning and it'll build a professional, multi-dimensional rubric for you. It's incredible. And what about all that paperwork? The administrative stuff that bogs us all down? Yep, Gemini can be your co-pilot here too. Need a syllabus drafted, a permission slip for that field trip, an agenda for your next department meeting? Or what about translating a classroom newsletter for a parent? Done, done, and done. So we've seen how AI can be a massive help for teachers, but what? What about the students? This next part is all about flipping the script. It's about seeing AI not as a threat to learning, but as a really powerful tool for building student independence. Okay, let's just go there. Let's name the elephant in the room. This is the #1 concern for pretty much every educator when they hear about AI. Won't my students just use this to cheat? Won't they just have it do all their work for them? And you know what? It's a completely valid question. This slide really captures that core misunderstanding perfectly. The fear is that AI is just a shortcut, that it's going to do the work for them. But the reality, at least with the educational version of Gemini, is that it's designed to be a guide, not a ghostwriter. And the secret to this is a feature called guided learning mode. This is the best part. It's the default setting for student accounts, and it is a total game changer. So if a student asks Gemini to just write an essay for them, it'll politely say no. Instead, it starts a conversation. It asks probing questions to help the student actually develop their own ideas. It's a tutor, not a cheater. So as we start to wrap this up, let's think a little bigger. This isn't just about saving a bit of time on a few tasks. This is about what it means to be a future-ready teacher with a powerful co-pilot right there in the classroom with you. You know, this quote, it really hits the nail on the head. AI is not going to replace teachers, but teachers who use AI will replace those who don't. This whole thing is about making you a super teacher, not making you obsolete. So, are you ready to get started? I'll leave you with one final thought to take with you. As you think about your own massive to-do list, what's the very first task you're going to hand over to your new AI teaching assistant? Because the revolution starts now.